And we are away. The 2019 Newstead Brewing Hospital Challenge Cup preliminary final. That'll be called held up, but UQ not out of the woods yet. Lanack throws it in. There's the heave from the Gallopers. King commands them ahead of him. He dribbles it. King's there. This is all too familiar.
Again. Scrum.
Richards asked about the penalty try, and he said, well, you guys stood up too.
UQ are trying to hold this one out, but the Gallopers have moved it forward. It's fallen in. They've got an advantage again. King looks to go himself. Oh, and they just push him back on top of the pile. Richards. Michael Richards. They've got the advantage. He's burrowing through. Just short. Lanack fires out. Inside ball to Matty Jaquel. And the man who was the 2018 Tony Shaw medalist has gone through for the first points of this preliminary final. The Gallopers in the lead. 5 points to 0 over UQ.
Friday nights might be a bit too hard on the hamstrings.
McDermott goes himself, sees some space, snipes through. Tate McDermott, open field in front, gets around another defender. He's got Korchik on one side, Sedu on the right. He goes, draws the pass. Sedu's got space. Clifton Sedu goes through. Big try. Big response for UQ.
And that all came from Tate McDermott just seeing a little gap in the line out way down on the UQ line. Linked up with Clifton Sedu there on the wing.
Dalgleish. There's the prime example of what we're dealing with here in the win department. Big right to left there for Dalgleish, and he'll miss that one. They fire out the back, and that's a scrappy one who's cleaned up by Jaquel, who gets the offload to Simpkin. Oh, and that one will be lost forward. Now McDermott. Whoa, McDermott wears one across the cheek. And another loose ball. And McDermott comes around. Oh, battle of the halves. Jordan Lanack.
I'm a big believer that finals football is always about accumulating points.
And Dalgleish.
He's drilled that one.
He's drilled that, but did you see how hard that hit the brakes? We'll get the replay of that kick potentially. That thing would have usually sailed over the fence into the hill, but it pumped the brakes and didn't even clear the dead ball line.
You actually even watch his technique here. He even tries to hit it harder than normal. He's really tried to give that everything.
There's the brakes. Wow. McDermott's had enough. No time wasted. They're going to get into the sheds. They're going to get into halftime. What an explosive and interesting first half we've had. That's a scoreline befitting a qualifying final if I've ever seen one. And we're away, second half. Newstead Brewing Hospital Challenge Cup preliminary final. UQ against Jeeps. One will progress on to the grand final next weekend against Brothers. The other, their season will be over. And they'll be back to the drawing board for another year.
So Jeeps having to work against the wind here might force some good habits and bring that ball back in hand.
Oh, and that was very slick. John O'Kent's emerged out of nowhere. He's got Nicholson on the left. Nicholson's got space for days. Nicholson, foot race with Campbell. Campbell bumps off the tackle, but Campbell finishes the job. Clifton Sedu's over the top looking for the pilfer. Hit low by Dalgleish. Hegarty fires it out the back. Here we go. Canelio's on the trot. Canelio, one-on-one with Dalgleish. Gets it to Nickel. Jeeps, first to score in the second half. The man from 5th grade, he's come a hell of a long way, and he'll get an important try in this qualifying final. And now they're going to throw it on the boot, getting downtown. Good distance in the wind. Now Campbell. Campbell looking to slice up through the middle. He gets the offload off the deck to Twydale. Twydale's through, but he cops an ankle tap. McDermott scrambling, right-hand side. Dalgleish dinks one through. Edwards is charging on. Terrace to Terrace. It's on like Donkey Kong. Sam Edwards on the right wing. That was tidy. Big try there. Correction. Kai Oates on the right-hand side of the field.
They both look the same there with the headgear on, I think. Still a lot of bodies, very slow to get off the ground there. A few front rowers.
Hold on.
Yellow card.
We're going to have to see a replay of what's happened here.
So he's burrowed in from the side.
Oh, is that him at the bottom? Maybe he's just a...
Oh, and UQ hold the phone here, Cordy. UQ driving through. Mellor's got it in hand. He's got that one back. McDermott offloads, loose ball. And we've just seen a litany of errors coming from Jeeps here in the last few minutes, compiled with the yellow card. Is that a second one?
Wow, okay.
Jeeps throwing everything they've got at it. They are looking thin out wide. And there's the try.
James Wood again.
James Wood goes through and gets it. So UQ open up the scoring account for the second half. Wallace very casually rolls it through. And now Campbell down the right-hand side. He's got the one-on-one, gives it to Sedu on the outside. Clifton Sedu's through.
And that's just numbers, you know, they're just down in defence and UQ just spread it to the wing and Cliffy Sedu, he's over again.
Takiri took that one. Gania fires it out. DeLonge on the inside to Simpkin, who's met by Hawkins. Oh, a fumble. Back was the call. DeLonge's knocked it on forward. Here we go. Horan once out. Here's Edwards. Left corner. He's got Collins there. Offloads to Alex Horan. And he's in the corner. And that's all she wrote, folks. UQ will be heading through to the big show next week. Van Eden's at the back. He's got a bit of pressure there. Edwards has had enough. Kicks it out. And UQ are heading to the grand final next weekend.